All right, Ravens flock, the Ravens 2020 NFL schedule has been officially revealed. We already knew who they were going to face off with this season, but we didn't know when. Now that the schedule is here, let's talk about it. So the first game we have in week 1 will be at home in Baltimore, going up against the Cleveland Browns. I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised by this. We're starting off with an AFC North rival, and Cleveland, of all teams. For week 1, it's an interesting take. You know, Cleveland had the best game of their season when they came down to Baltimore in week 4 last year and beat us 40-25. Browns fans have not stopped talking about that game, and they find every occasion to bring it up, which is funny because Cleveland constantly tells Baltimore not to live in the past of their success, yet they continuously bring up this game in every argument I'm seeing. It is what it is, not my business. But yeah, to start off with Cleveland this early on, week 1, I'm not mad at it. Lamar versus Baker round 3, let's see how it goes. Should be an interesting one. Next, we got week 2. We're heading up to Houston to face off against the Texans. Lamar Jackson versus Deshaun Watson part 2. Hopefully it lives up to the hype. This time the fight will be in Deshaun Watson's territory up in Houston. It should be interesting though. I hope it will live up to the hype because the first matchup was in Baltimore, and obviously the Ravens just blew out the Texans. It wasn't even close. Lamar Jackson dominated. Deshaun Watson had no protection and got absolutely crushed. It was a devastating loss. So hopefully this game lives up to the hype for week 2. Who knows? Next, we got week 3. It's our first primetime game, and we are going up against the defending champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are coming to Baltimore. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this game to be week 3 because 1, we faced off with Mahomes and the Chiefs in week 3 last year, so why would you put it in the same spot this year? Secondly, I felt this should have been a Sunday night football game instead of a Monday night football game because I prefer Sunday night football games are just the best in my opinion. I love when it's Sunday night football. That's my favorite. Monday night football, I don't like the commentary. Thursday night football, for some reason, when 2 teams meet up on Thursday night, a blow up usually happens. So Thursday night football is the least interesting of the 3. But Sunday night football is where it's at, and I enjoy it. But I'm not going to be too mad about it being Monday Night Football. I am mad about it being that early. I wanted to face off with the Chiefs later on down the season because when you face off with a team like this, especially the defending champions, you get a feel for what both these teams are going to be, what they've become in this season. Because when you meet them in like week 8, week 9, you kind of get a feel for what the Chiefs are going to be this season, and you kind of get a feel for how good the Ravens are that season. To meet them in week 3, that's not much to gauge. So even if we beat them, or even if they beat us, it doesn't really determine how they're going to be in the next matchup. With that being said, I still want to beat Kansas City. That's the team to beat. That's the team to beat. That's the one team I need to see this Ravens team beat this season. No question. But yeah, other than that, it should be a fun matchup. First primetime game for the Ravens. It's going to be on Monday Night Football. It should be fun. Next, we move on to week 4, where we're heading down to FedEx Field, where I live, to face off with the Redskins. I might actually go to this game. If I have the opportunity, I will most likely go to this game because it's nearby. But yeah, Lamar versus Dwayne Haskins. I can't say it's going to be interesting. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm interested to see what the Redskins can become this upcoming season, especially because everyone already wrote off the Redskins just like every year. But I have some faith in Dwayne Haskins, and I'm willing to give the guy a chance. We gave Lamar Jackson a chance, even though everyone was saying he didn't deserve it. So let's give Dwayne Haskins a chance. He's had the offseason to work. He's going to have all this time to be able to put in the work and improve. Let's see what he can do now that he has an offseason of being able to work out and understanding what it takes to be a successful quarterback in the NFL. He's got to learn that. So we'll see what happens this season, but I expect the Ravens to win that one. That's not a game I'm necessarily concerned with. I expect the Ravens to win that game. Next, we head up to week 5. Cincinnati coming to Baltimore. Lamar Jackson versus Joe Burrow. It should be interesting. The Bengals are one of the biggest wild cards for me in this upcoming season because 1, you got a new face of the franchise with Joe Burrow, and 2nd, they added a lot of great pieces on that. They added a lot of great pieces on the offense, and they tried to fix their defense. Cincinnati, we don't know what they're going to be. It looked like they were taking last year to end up getting Joe Burrow, and they got their guy. It's going to be interesting. I think this Cincinnati team is going to be a whole lot better this year than they were last season. So it should be interesting. Lamar so far is 2-0 against Cincinnati. Sorry, not 2-0. 3-0 against Cincinnati. He's had 0 issues with them, so that defense got to figure out how to defend Lamar Jackson, but I expect us to win that game. Then week 6, we heading up to the Philadelphia Eagles territory. Lincoln Financial Field, that should be fun. Lamar Jackson versus Carson Wentz, 2 talented quarterbacks. It's going to be fun. Philadelphia is always an interesting place to go, and it's always an interesting place to, face off with. It should be fun. Definitely going to be a fun game. I don't know how that game is going to turn out, but either way, it should be entertaining for me. I do hope my Ravens win for 2 reasons. 1, because I want the Ravens to win in Philadelphia. 2, because I want to see what EDP is going to say if his Eagles lose. I think everybody knows that when the Eagles lose, the first guy we look for is EDP. It's just, he's crazy. He is definitely crazy, but he's the one guy you look for when the Eagles lose. So I'm so glad my team gets to face off with them, because if we beat them, I get a win, and I'm going to get to see what EDP's got to say about it. So it should be fun. Next, week 7, Pittsburgh coming to Baltimore. Timeout. Is this about to be... Are they going to do it the same way they did last year, where it's like home, away, home, away, home, away the whole season? Because it's starting to look like that. Really, guys? Okay, whatever. Week 7, the Steelers come to Baltimore. It should be fun. Ben Roethlisberger is going to be back, and we're going to get to see the first matchup between Lamar and Ben Roethlisberger. The quarterback battle. It should be fun. The up-and-coming young star versus the old veteran who still technically runs the AFC North. Just because he was injured doesn't mean he doesn't run the AFC North. We've always been fighting with them, but Pittsburgh, for the most part of the 2010s, have owned the AFC North. We've just been there to battle them. I'd say we've been about even since, 2010, but still, overall, everyone's always assumed Pittsburgh's owned the division. Now that Ben's back, you kind of expect them to definitely challenge the Ravens. Right now, you could say the Ravens probably own it because they just came off a 14-2 season. They got young. They're still young, but they got a whole lot better in the offseason and in the draft. So you kind of expect them to be the favorites. Plus, they also are Super Bowl favorites this upcoming season. So you expect them to win the AFC North, but Pittsburgh is going to be there to challenge them. So it should be an interesting fight in Baltimore for that Week 7 game. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for this game, man. It should be fun. It should be fun. I want to see what Big Ben still has left. So I love Steelers Week. I love Steelers matchups. It's the funnest part of being a Ravens fan, beating the Steelers. So hopefully we can do that at home. Then we get to week 8. It's a bye week, so that'll be our rest week as usual. Next we get to week 9. We're heading up to Indianapolis to face off against the Colts. I don't have much to say about this game. Lamar Jackson versus Phillip Rivers. It's not exactly the Chargers, but could you kind of count it a revenge game? Not necessarily, because it's not the Chargers, but Phillip Rivers is the quarterback that did beat us 2 years ago in the playoffs in that wild card game. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a revenge game, but I'm sure that defense will treat it like it's a revenge game. Who knows? But it should be pretty interesting game. I expect the Ravens to win this one, but yeah, it should be a fun game. Then we get to week 10, where we're heading up to Foxborough to face off against the New England Patriots on Sunday Night Football. This is the game that pisses me off. This is the game I wished was switched with the Chiefs. I would have loved to have faced off with the New England Patriots at week 3 on Monday Night Football, especially because Brady's not there anymore. Now, of course, we know Bill Belichick's there, and whoever's going to take under center as the quarterback, he's just going to follow whatever Bill Belichick tells him. So the Patriots defense is still going to be there. We don't know what the offense is going to be. I don't know what to make of this matchup. I mean, without Brady there, it's like one half of a great dynasty. What do you do with that? Are they still going to be great? Are they not? Was it mostly Brady? Was it mostly Belichick? We're going to find out this season because Brady's with Tampa Bay. And if he can get to a Super Bowl and win, that proves it was more Brady than Bill. But it's going to be interesting. I don't know what to make of this Patriots matchup. It's not like the time of old. It's always been Baltimore versus Tom Brady. It's never been like Baltimore versus the Patriots. Well, it's been Baltimore versus Tom Brady and Bill Belichick for the most part of, over a decade? Or, it's like 2 decades. So it's like, I don't know what to make of this game. I just wish we would have faced off with them in week 3, and we would have had the Chiefs game week 10 on Sunday Night Football. That would have been a much better fit. But you can't change the schedule now, so we'll take on the Patriots in New England on Sunday Night Football. I expect us to win that. I have no idea what the Patriots are going to be next year. It should be interesting. They'll definitely be competitive because Bill will keep that team competitive, but I don't know what to make of them. Then we get to week 11. Back home at Baltimore against the Tennessee Titans. Now, for most Ravens fans, this is certainly a revenge game, especially because Titans fans will not stop talking about their playoff win, which, hey, all respect to them, that's what you can do. Ravens fans is just part of the thing. You know, it's just part of what you got to deal with when your team loses. When the Packers lost to the 9-7 Giants in the playoffs in 2011, they had to deal with people saying they can't beat the Giants. Eli owns Aaron Rodgers. They had to deal with that the following season. When the 2017 Pittsburgh Steelers, that Steelers team that went 13-3, when they got upsetted by Blake Bortles and the Jaguars, they had to deal, the following season, they had to deal with the fact that people were saying, oh man, Blake Bortles, well, not even Blake Bortles, but like the Jags just own Pittsburgh. And it really was emphasized in that season because the Jags faced off with them in the regular season and beat them. And then faced off against them again in Pittsburgh and they beat them again. So that was really emphasized. Us as Ravens fans, you just gotta take your licks. We lost to them, so they have all bragging rights. If you don't want this to be talked about anymore, hopefully, just hope the Ravens team can go out there and beat them at home. Get your revenge. You're going to hear about this until you win. It's the same thing we had to deal with last year with Cleveland. When Cleveland beat us 40-25, every single week, someone had to mention, well, you know they lost to Cleveland 40-25. You know Cleveland beat them 40-25. We heard that all the way until we finally met up with them in Cleveland back in week 16. It's just something you have to deal with. So, Ravens fans, deal with it. The Titans can say whatever they want. They beat us. But it's a whole new season. And this is a whole new Ravens team, a completely different Ravens team. That front seven is not the same front seven that went up against the Titans in the playoff game. And that Ravens offense will definitely not be the same Ravens offense they faced off with in the playoffs, especially the receivers, because now, you know, Seth Roberts is gone, Hayden Hurst is gone, and now we got these two young studs in Devin Duvernay and James Prochet. So, also we added firepower with J.K. Dobbins, so it's going to be interesting. We're definitely not going to be the same team we were last season. The weaknesses we had at that time have been improved, so it's going to be interesting. This is definitely a revenge game, but for the most part, I'm not really looking for it. Of course, I want us to win that game, you know, kind of get the revenge, but I'm not really emphasizing or really focusing on that game. My focus is on the Chiefs. Now, I'm not saying you undermine or just take away from every other team. Obviously, as fans, we like to do that. The players should never do that. But I'm just saying, for me, my focus is more on the defending champions. Because if you want to be champions, you have to beat that team. You cannot be champions unless you can beat the defending champions. That's just how it feels like. So, yeah, I'm not really too focused on this. I do believe the Ravens will get their revenge in Baltimore against the Titans. Should be a good game, but I do believe we're going to get our revenge. I'll say this for Titans fans, though. Y'all better hope you guys weren't the Jaguars last year. You better hope, because the 2017 Jaguars, they went on a magical run. They won their division at, 10-6? And they took down a Pittsburgh team that was superior to them in every other fashion. That Steelers team had no excuse to lose that playoff game, but somehow they managed to do it. The exact same situation happened to us in Baltimore. Going 14-2, arguably the best team in the league, the same way Pittsburgh was in 2017, and then we end up losing to a team in Tennessee that wasn't better than us. They just showed up to play. So hopefully the Titans don't end up being the Jaguars of they're in the same division, so you don't want to end up like the Jaguars. Hopefully that wasn't a one-year wonder by Ryan Tannehill, and that wasn't a one-year wonder by Derrick Henry. You hope for that, but if that ends up being the case, it's going to go downhill for the Titans. And I like the Titans, so I don't want that to be the case. Just somehow learn from the Jags' mistakes. Whatever mistakes they made. Oh, wait, they signed Blake Bortles. You know, best of luck to you guys, Titans. I'm going to just say that. So now we move on to week 12. And it's actually going to be the start of a 3-game stretch where we're all on primetime. Yeah, 3 straight primetime games for the Ravens. You're going to get that, obviously, when you're one of the most exciting teams in the league. But yeah, week 12 at Pittsburgh for Thanksgiving. This is interesting. We get to face off with the Steelers in Heinz Field on Thanksgiving. I don't remember the last time the Ravens played on Thanksgiving. So this should be a fun matchup. I'm actually looking forward to this matchup more than I am when the Steelers come to Baltimore week 7. I like this matchup more because, one, it's in Heinz Field, which I love facing off with the Steelers on the road. I don't like when Pittsburgh comes to Baltimore. I love when we go to Heinz Field and beat them because it just means so much more. When we beat them in Baltimore, yeah, we defended our home base. But when you beat Pittsburgh in Heinz Field, woo, that's and we get to have an opportunity to do that on Thanksgiving? Sign me up. I love it. Next, week 13, Thursday night football against the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. Y'all know how I feel about Dallas. I do not expect the Ravens to lose this game. I'll be very pissed off if they lose. You will get a rant video from me if Baltimore loses to the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday night football. No excuses. Prime time. We're better than the Cowboys. Yeah, I'm not going to get into the whole better than thing. I'll probably address that when that game comes up, assuming we have a season, which I'm praying for. But, like, when that game comes up, I'll address it then. Let's just say I expect the Ravens to beat the Cowboys on prime time. So, we're not going to talk about that anymore. Moving on, week 14, at Cleveland. What? Yeah, at Cleveland, Monday Night Football. What in the what? Let me look at this. Okay, so we have 2 primetime games in Baltimore, and then the other 3 primetime games are on the road. Okay, interesting. But okay, so yeah, week 14 at Cleveland for Monday Night Football. Should be interesting. I love playing in Cleveland. You know, we've owned Cleveland for a good part of the decade, and now they're trying to fight back, so best of luck for them. But, you know, just like they came to our territory last season and beat us by 15, we went to their territory and beat them by 16. Not only that, but we beat them by 16 and clinched the number 1 seed in the AFC, so that was a fun day for me. So, hey, who knows what the situation will be in week 14. I'm looking forward to that, so maybe a win right here would pretty much end Cleveland's chances of winning the division, or maybe a win by them would end our chances of winning the division. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see. But yeah, week 14 at Cleveland on a primetime Monday Night Football. Should be fun. Cleveland usually plays their best football against us, and when it's primetime, the stakes will definitely be high. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. Next, we get to week 15 with the Jaguars. The Jaguars are another team I don't know how to gauge, because, like, I don't know what Gardner Minshew is going to be for them. You know, we saw some flashes in his rookie year. It was good times and bad times. Hopefully, he has taken the time to work on his great game and progress to the next level, but I don't know what they're going to be. So, it'll definitely be an interesting game. They're coming to Baltimore, so I like it. I'll see how the game goes, but I know the Ravens. I'm picking the Ravens, obviously. I believe the Ravens can win that game, no problem, but, like, I just want to see what the Jaguars can do this season. They're one of the teams I'm like, wild cards. We don't know how they're going to be. Is Gardner Minshew truly the guy? We're going to find out. It should be interesting. Next, week 16, we've got the New York Giants. They're also coming to Baltimore. The Giants are also a pretty cool team as well. They're a team that's rebuilding. I like Daniel Jones, and I have faith and confidence that the Giants could end up making some level of a resurgence in the NFC East. I don't know how this game could go, because, you know, depending on what the Giants can become, this could be a tough game for the Ravens, but who knows? I believe the Giants are going to be good this season. Yeah, I think they're gonna be good this season. Shout out to Fizz Vegas. He's a guy I definitely watch. I enjoy his content. He's a great guy. I've never gotten to talk to him. I hope I could get to talk to him one day. I should probably reach out to him. But, like, Fizz Vegas is a pretty cool dude. He's a Giants fan. Way more followers than me, which, again, I never got into this for followers. I just wanted to express my opinions. But, like, that guy's got a great cult following, and I am one of those cult followers. So, yeah, I wouldn't call myself a cult follower. I would say that I just support the guy, you know. I watch his content all the time. So, you know, he's a funny dude. He's definitely a funny dude. And his love for Daniel Jones is hilarious, because he has him as the anointed one. So we'll see how that situation goes out. But yeah, again, shout out to Fizz Vegas for that. Yeah, for the Giants, I think we can beat them. But we'll see what they become. And last but not least, week 17 at Cincinnati. You know, it's funny. For some reason, when it comes to week 17 games, a lot of times we end up, like, having to face off against Cincinnati, like, week 17. I don't know why, but they love giving Cincinnati to us at the end of the season. Oh, it's interesting. But yeah, just like what I said back in week 5, I think the Ravens got this closed up. You know, Joe Burrow, we'll see what he becomes. By the end of the season, we will see what Cincinnati has become. Joe Burrow, at that point, will have so much experience just playing in the league. This may be a very tough game for the Ravens to have to deal with for their season finale. And who knows, this game could end up determining the division or some significant playoff spot for the Ravens. So it should be a fun game. Hopefully Cincinnati is a great team. I hope every AFC North team is a great team this season, because I want the AFC North to be the best division in the league. So we'll see. Everyone in the AFC North got tremendously better throughout off seasons and the draft, so let's see how it goes. But yeah, I believe we're going to beat Cincinnati. Should be a tough game, but like I said before, Lamar owns Cincinnati so far. He's 3-0 against them. I expect that trend to continue. And yeah, it should be a fun game. So that is all the games. From this, I believe we could probably go 12-4. I think I can give a record of 12-4 for the Ravens. I always believe, you're not going to be that same team record-wise that you were last season, but I think you can still be a better team than you were the previous season. Like, just because you went 15-1 or 16-0 the previous season doesn't mean you can't be a better team next year. We may have gone 14-2, but we ended up losing in the playoffs. Now this team is tremendously better. We're better on our front seven. We're better with our linebacking core. We're better with our receivers because of the guys we picked up in the draft. And we got a nice running back to just add more explosive power to our offense. We are a much better team this upcoming season than we were last year. So I'm interested to see what they're going to be able to accomplish. I expect them to win the AFC North. I expect them to be competing for a championship, and hopefully they can get to a Super Bowl. It is the 25th year anniversary for the Ravens, so hopefully we can get to a Super Bowl. Oh man, should be fun. I got us going 12-4, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that is all I've got. Thank you guys for watching, and I'm out of here. Peace.